Hola, my amigos and amigas. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. I am live and I'm ready to perform for all of you. How art thou? I hope some of my impatience will be at my beck and call. I hope you will join and come filing in momentarily. I hope. So I'm going to start off here by going over some artwork that I created yesterday. Because why not? Rusty says, no thanks. I don't want to watch this. Rusty, I'm in a chipper mood and I'm not getting persecutory delusions about my parents at the moment, so it might be a good live stream. So the first one, I'm screaming, or the giant ant is screaming, help me, I'm in hell on earth. I have no friends. I'm in lava. Yeah. This fire. I think this really illustrates the pain I'm going through. We should get some mental health professionals to really analyze this. Rusty says he misses all the sit-ups in those streams. Yeah, those were classics. And then this one. I'm daydreaming I'm rich and famous because I have no freedom. I'm dependent. I have no friends. I'm an incel. I'm a loner. Help me. I've wasted a lot of time and I'm a man-child. Yeah. So these were some artworks that I did yesterday. Okay. Somebody says, we got Andrew. We Three Kings, Koloski, and Rusty. What does the We Three Kings mean, TB? What does the We Three Kings mean? What's going on, TB? What's going on? Well, it's kind of a rainy and gloomy day in New York. However, the weather's a little bit nicer than it's been. I mean, at least in temperature-wise, it's 40 degrees. The past few days, it's been 20 degrees or less. So at least it's a little bit warmer. But, it's rainy and drizzly and gloomy and cloudy, so... Hey, Christopher, we got Prince Hamilton, also known as Christopher, in the house. How are you doing, Christopher? Nice to see you. Obviously, I get a delusion Christopher is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. What are your thoughts on The Rock or Steve Jobs sweater I'm wearing today? He asks me, how was Christmas? Well, I didn't fight with my family, so that's good. I kind of avoided them. I guess okay. I mean, I got some clothes and money, so. Yeah, so I look like the CEO of Apple in this attire, I think. Was he the CEO of Apple? I mean, he certainly was pretty important. Did Steve Jobs wear black turtleneck sweaters? I think he did. Let's search that on the internet. No. Somebody says, yeah, I gave my parents some gift cards and stuff. Somebody says the sweater works for you. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you. La 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 la. It's a good look. It's a good look, TB. It's a good look. I got some gift cards. I got a $50 gift card to a hibachi restaurant, Izumi, which I used yesterday with my art class buddy. I got some gift cards to IHOP, which I think are around here somewhere. You're right there. We're gonna get some chocolate chip pancakes. in the coming days. I got a $50 gift card to Starbucks, which I've used a good chunk of. I was going to get Starbucks today, but I don't want to get. I mean, I was getting some good coffee. I saw a post on social media that says 1 in 5 people in the United States of America get a Starbucks gift card for Christmas. I don't know if that's true or not. I know I certainly did, and I know that's kind of a go-to gift for me for others. So yeah, I think when all else fails, that's what you get people. Somebody says, "Are things getting serious between you and your art class buddy?" Um, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we're just friends at the moment, and that we're not more than that. Um, Maybe it will turn into more though. Yeah. Somebody said. So kind of bored today. It's 3 p.m. and there's nothing to do. I could go for a walk. Should I get some alcohol? You haven't seen the channel with the art class buddies. It's a friend of mine who's a lady, Christopher, um, and we're getting along pretty well. We're creating videos together. We're creating content together. So yeah, I haven't had romance in years. It's been a long time. It's been a while since I last had romance. Somebody says she seems like good fun on your page. Yeah, she's chipper, she's bubbly, she's sweet, she's cute. Yeah, I mean, she's a lot of fun to be around. Um, we're getting along pretty well. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. She's quickly becoming a good friend of mine. Somebody says, "Is she aware of your persecutory moods?" I think once or twice around her, I got suspicions that you know she was involved with my parents to betray me, but I don't really get too many persecutory delusions about her. Usually my moods around her are pretty consistent, and we're usually having a good time. We actually created a video about the once or twice moments where I was getting suspicious, about her, but usually we're pretty chipper and happy and get along pretty well. TV says that's good to hear. Yeah, because when you get rapid delusional mood swings about people, they're going to be confused and not understand the way your mind works, and it's going to ruin relationships. So try to see people as being honest, transparent, and not a prayer. And that's a good way to see people. You know. Somebody says, "Do you think 2026 is going to be your year?" I think it certainly has potential to be, but obviously you got to make 2026 your year. It's not going to just magic year. You got to take action and make it happen. So this Friday, me and my art class buddy, we're going to be doing stand-up comedy. Really come back with ferocious determination and make it happen. And just really, really, really go all in with drive and determination. I mean, 2026 has the potential to be my year. I'm able-bodied. I'm handsome. I'm funny. I'm performing pretty well. But if you just sit back and nap all day, like a lazy bum, it's not going to happen. You got to take the action and make 2026 your year. You got to make it. Somebody says 2026 is the year of the big dog. Oh, 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 oh. Somebody says you have the Steve Jobs sweater too. People will think you're a young professional in tech. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. They'll think I'm a young professional, some innovative, I don't know. Somebody asks me regarding the friend that sends me a lot of texts. It comes in waves, you know. There's moments where he'll send me like anywhere from like 20 to 100 texts ranting about how his parents are Satan. And I'm like, one time he sent me like 100 texts while I was sleeping. I'm like, and I sleep with the phone next to my bed. I'm like, are you trying to give me brain cancer? Like, I'm getting like incoming texts all night long, you know, ranting about how his parents are Satan. I'm like, yeah, just like, you know. I think somebody says, do you think he's delusional or telling the truth? I think he's telling the truth. I think his home environment's probably toxic, a powder keg. I think he's probably fighting with his parents. But also, like, what do you expect me to do? Do you expect me to be like your knight in shining armor and give you financial independence and freedom? You know, I need that too for myself. You know, like, what do you expect me to do? I can't save you. I mean, somebody says it sounds like he complains too. No, I wish him the best. He's a cool dude. I like him, but you know, like sending me 100 texts, unless like it's really a major emergency, and you're going to be put in the hospital. Like, really, what are you expecting me to do? I get it. Your parents are abusive and probably rage baiting you. You know, like what do you expect me to do? Hola, Erie. Somebody says he's not respecting my boundaries. I'm going to tell this guy, respect my boundaries. Some Horn Dog asks, do you think this guy has it worse than me? I don't know. I have it pretty bad too. And then he's like, after sending me 100 texts ranting about how his parents are Satan, he asks me, do you want to see SpongeBob SquarePants? I'm like, hey, no thanks. You know, and you know, maybe getting out and seeing SpongeBob SquarePants, some fun children's movie, would be a temporary distraction, but that's not really the answer. We need to get financially independent. We need to find a place of our own. We need to get, you know, probably a girlfriend and happiness and a life. Not like sitting like, well, like not two, you know, people in toxic powder keg home environments getting abused by their parents with no girlfriends, watching SpongeBob. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Yeah. I mean, I get that it's fun. I get that it's a chipper children's movie, but it's just it's like madness, you know. It's like, no, no, thank you. I don't want to see that with you, you know. Somebody says, don't go to the movies with him. He's not a romantic partner. Somebody says, is he gay? I don't think he is. I think he's just really lonely, frustrated, going through a crisis. Somebody says, you're his version of Man Crush Ed. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I guess you're right. So he says, is it difficult being high functioning? I don't know. I don't think I'm that high functioning. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. It's like, who are these two like 30-year-old dudes that are in like powder cake home environments? Like we'll probably scare all the families in the theater. Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, I'm gonna get some water here. One sec. Getting some water. Oh, who lives in the pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. Which is the $1 billion buttocks. Yeah, actually, I'm going to show you these pants. My stepfather wanted me to go through some old clothes, and these are some new pants that Actually, some old pants that I recently rediscovered. What do you think? What do you think about the pants? Yeah, they're back in my repertoire. They're a little old. Erie says camo pants, very cool. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you the $1 billion buttocks too. The $1 billion buttocks. Yeah, they're pretty cool. TV says the pants are very '90s. Yeah, me and my friends were definitely nostalgic for the '90s. We said the '90s were a great time. Rick says yeah, it's perfect. You're dressed perfectly for seeing SpongeBob SquarePants. You're dressed perfectly to see SpongeBob SquarePants. Horndog asks, "Are you going to buy tangerine beef with that $200 from Christmas?" Well, I got hibachi yesterday. Maybe not tangerine beef. Somebody says, "How much tangerine beef can you get for $200?" Yeah, at least a day or two or three or four are worth. But should I get a hard seltzer or a beer today? What do you think? I don't know. I don't want to get dependent on alcohol, but kind of bored. Do you? I mean, the last time I drank was Christmas, which is 4 days ago. Horn Dog says, "Get a beer, treat yourself. Go." Erie says, "Get a beer. You only live once." TV says, "If you're not going to get independent, then you should get dependent on alcohol." I guess so. This seems like bad advice, though. Somebody says, "Get Coors Light like Brock Lesnar." Yeah, I want to be a badass like Brock Lesnar. I'll get a Coors Light because Bud Light ain't paying me nothing. Yeah, I'm not going to get Bud Light. I'm going to get Coors Light. Actually, all kidding aside, I know we're joking right now, but when I see Coors Light and Bud Light in the supermarket, I always go for Coors Light, and it's because of him, saying that. It's not really intentional, but I guess his anti-advertising actually worked. So, uh, so when I go to the supermarket and I see Coors and Bud Light, I pick Coors Light, and it's because of Brock Lesnar. Jokes aside, that's 100% the truth. So he says he's a good spokesperson for Coors Light, that's for sure. He's a good spokesperson for Coors Light. Horndog says, "Get a six-pack so you have some for the next day." I know if my mother, somebody says, "Buy Slim Jims too. Get some Slim Jims and be like the Macho Man Randy Savage." Yeah, the Slim Jim meat snacks, they're good in moderation. I used to really tear into them in my childhood. They're pretty good. I think the sensational advertising that Randy Savage did is really what sold them. I don't think a lot of people would have really, bought them as much as they did if it wasn't for Randy Savage. So he says, "What's your favorite things to eat?" Well, I have 2 bananas every morning. I have a lot of peanut butter. Somebody says the Kevin Nash and the Ultimate Warrior were the spokesperson too. Yeah, Kevin Nash, I mean, although he's a good promo guy, he didn't sell Slim Jims as well as Macho Man. And the same is true for the Ultimate Warrior. Nobody could, really advertise Slim Jims with the same enthusiasm and as Macho Man did. So Oh, Cobras. Cobras asks, is your art class buddy coming over for the New Year's? Yeah, I mean, that might be a fun thing. Obviously, inviting some of my art class friends over for the New Year, watching the ball drop, and saying, like, at midnight, oh, we made another one, guys. We made it to 2026. It might be fun. I'll ask them. I don't know if they want to stay up till midnight. There's a lot of drunks on the road. But I mean, it might be fun. It might be fun. Oh, we made another one, guys. Happy New Year. We watched the ball drop. And then we could drink sparkling cider, apple cider, and blow little and throw confetti. We made it. We made it to 2026, guys. So he says, go get. So he says, why is he doing that? Is the ooh yeah. So he says, how is your father spending New Year's? I guess if my art class buddy doesn't want to spend New Year's with me, I could spend it with my father. But I know my father says New Year's is overrated. There's a lot of drunks on the road. But he also says the 4th of July is overrated. Birthdays are overrated. And it gets to the point where when everything's overrated, it's like, is there any special day? Is there any day to celebrate? Everything's overrated. He's going to start saying Christmas is overrated. Easter is overrated. It gets to the point, let's celebrate nothing. Let's be corporate robots who work 7 days a week for 8 hours. Like it gets to a point where it's like, if New Year's is overrated, if birthdays are overrated, if, Thanksgiving is overrated, what's special then? Somebody says, try to spend the New Year's with your father. It might be one of his last. Somebody says, what does your father think is underrated? That's a good question. Maybe I should call him and ask him, what holiday do you think is underrated? Maybe he'll say Halloween. I don't know. Or maybe he'll say, no, everything's overrated. Everything sucks. Everything's terrible. Or maybe he'll say the New York Jets are underrated. No, he says the New York Jets suck and they're shit. He doesn't like the Jets, though he's a fan. Somebody says, maybe your father is going to think Juneteenth is underrated. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe he'll think Juneteenth is underrated. Somebody says, just really rock and roll with your art class buddies. Somebody says, your father, Poppy, has strong opinions. Somebody asks, are your art class friends getting jealous? No, not really. Jay says, I like your outfit. Yeah, I got the Steve Jobs or Dwayne The Rock Johnson turtleneck sweater, and I got camo pants. I don't know if it really matches, but it's cool enough. Somebody says, Pika Pika! We got Pikachu in the background there. Pikachu and the sloth. All right. So what would you do, guys? Would you get 2 Coors Lights and 2 big tall boys of Coors Light and down them and come back and live stream? Or would you get a gingerbread chai tea latte from Starbucks with my gift card? Erin says, get 2 tall boys. Get 2 tall boys. Everybody's saying 2 Coors. Get 2 Coors Lights. And somebody says, be a man. Get the alcohol. Don't get caffeinated. Get drunk or buzzed. I mean, maybe tomorrow. So he says, "Be a man, not a man child. Show us the real Andrew." He says, "What are you going to get, a gingerbread chai tea latte from Starbucks? What are you? What are you, a liberal? What are you, a soy boy from California?" No, it's good. It was good. I had it the other day. It was a nice, delicious treat. Are you going to put soy milk in your latte? So he says, "What would Brock Lesnar do?" He'd probably get 2 Coors Lights from the supermarket, but it's getting late in the day. I don't know. So he says, "Was there caffeine?" There is caffeine in the chai gingerbread latte tea. There is caffeine in there, so at least there's that. I'm trying to think, what would my mother do, and my mother would say, "Don't ever drink alcohol ever. Period. Alcohol is bad. Alcohol is the devil." That's my mother's narrative. What I want to do is I want to get some alcohol and live stream with you. Somebody says, "You talk yourself out of everything fun, Andrew. Why do you do that?" I have the little voice of my mother in my ear saying, "Alcohol is the devil." Rusty says, "Just get the beer, dude." Somebody says, "Mommy would be happy, but mommy wouldn't be happy, but you are an adult." Somebody says, "Do you want to wind up miserable like your mother, like the warden?" No, I don't want to end up miserable like her. Somebody says, "What would she do?" She would not get the alcohol. What you should do is you should get the beer. So he says, "Have fun and let loose. Get 2 Coors Lights." I guess, guys. I guess. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll get it after my art class tomorrow. I think today I'm going to get a chai latte. I appreciate. I mean, I know you like the alcohol stream, but I think I'm going to pass on it today. Just because I had some coffee and I'm on acid reflux medication, pantoprazole, and I don't want to fry the hell out of my esophagus. I'm trying. I already had some coffee and caffeine, and I'm trying to. I'm doing it for medical reasons. Somebody says it's the New Year's, but it's the same old Andrew. Erie asks, "Have there been any choking incidents since she's been gone?" No, I don't think so. Not on the life. I mean, yes. I have esophageal esophagitis (EOE), and when I eat at restaurants, I often get it caught in my esophagus. But um, also, it hasn't happened in a while. She says that's a blessing. TB asks, Does anybody ever stare at you in shock at how quickly you eat at restaurants? I don't know. I definitely feel like people at the gym, at the supermarket, everywhere I go, kind of are looking at me out of their peripheral vision. Maybe it's the spotlight effect, um, but I feel like everybody's kind of like observing me and is focused on me, and maybe they aren't. So I wouldn't be the best judge of that. If people are really paying attention to me or not, maybe people really don't care, and I think they do. Or maybe they think I'm like a suave, badass future rock star. Rusty says, "I'm always looking at your OnlyFans, buddy." Yeah, man. Yeah, it's not taking off. It's not taking off as I hoped it would. But if you like it, that's great, man. That's great. Yeah, I mean, it's some people say, when it comes to OnlyFans, not a lot of people like checking out nearly 40-year-old schizoaffective men. They typically like ladies in their early 20s. But Andrew, you're really not caring that people typically prefer ladies in their 20s. You're really trying. So he says, "You need a haircut, buddy." Yeah, I'm gonna get one tomorrow, I think. The barber isn't open today. So I think it's their day off. So tomorrow I'll get my haircut. Yeah, I don't want to look like a 1960s psychedelic hippie. I don't want to look like a mad professor. I got to get my haircut. Last time I tried, there were like 8 people ahead of me, and I was like, nah, screw this. I wish I was like a millionaire movie star and I could just say, cut my hair, and they'd cut my hair at my beck and call, and I wouldn't have to worry about waiting there for like 5 people ahead of me. And I would also have master chefs who cook me delicious foods if I was a millionaire. Cook me food and cut my hair. Cook me food and cut my hair. Cut my hair and cook me food. Somebody says, what do you think your art class friends think of your spicy content? Like my parents, I don't really talk about it with them. I don't know. Somebody says, make Andrew famous already. Somebody says, what was your mother's first reaction when she found out about your OnlyFans and your spicy content? She says, oh, Andrew, don't make pictures in your underwear. Don't take pictures showing off the fruits of your body. And then she just like doesn't talk about it again. My father, says, I'm not going to make social media content with you if you pose sexy and do thirst traps on social media. But it's kind of like these women on OnlyFans who say, oh my God, what would happen if my father or mother my parents found out about my OnlyFans? They would probably be like, oh yeah, stop doing that. But they would just probably look at you like a failure and a disappointment. And I don't think they're going to really be horrified. Like, oh my God, my daughter is making spicy content. They'd be like, oh my God, our 20-year-old loser daughter is creating spicy content. You should probably stop doing that. But, you're a disappointment. You're a failure. Clean up your act. Get a college degree. Stop showing your body to men. That's probably how they would view her. Like I see these social media like models in their 20s, like, oh, what would happen if my parents discovered I'm posting sexy? They wouldn't be horrified. They'd be like, yeah, our daughter's a disappointment and a failure and a laughing stock. Maybe this whole view of her is the reason she's creating OnlyFans content to begin with. Maybe we're the problem. Somebody says, maybe your father is just jealous and doesn't know how to ask you to make him a thirst trap account. Take the initiative and get your father his own OnlyFans. Knowing my father, maybe he already has one. I mean, I don't want to see it. Don't get me wrong. Knowing my father, he might have just already created his own. But then again, he's sending me a lot of religious texts. So maybe it goes against his religious beliefs. So maybe he isn't doing it. I don't know. But knowing my father, maybe he's just doing it as a goof. I don't want to see it though. I mean, if he really is, I don't want to see it. No, he's sending me a lot of texts like John 3:16 and oh, you got to go to church, and he's sending me a lot of these inspiring religious quotes, and he's saying, associating with me on social media because I'm creating spicy content goes against his religious beliefs. And yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah, I don't find your religious quotes and texts and posts inspiring. I just find it to be rage baiting. But he sends me a lot of religious texts. And if it works for him, I mean, he has prostate cancer. If he's really getting inspired and into religion, okay, that's fine. But don't try to push it on me. Somebody says maybe it's maybe he's doing Jake the Snake Roberts, like when he had the born again Christian gimmick in the '90s. Maybe he's saying, yeah, I screwed you over in the 1990s and 2000s, but now you're going to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You thump your Bible and talk about John 3:16. Well, I'm going to defeat him for King of the Ring and say Austin 3:16. So I don't know if that's what he's doing or if he really genuinely is into religion, but yeah, I'm not into it. That's for sure. Somebody says he's definitely Jake the Snake Roberts, and don't trust a snake. Don't trust your father. He's definitely Jake the Snake Roberts. Don't trust the snake. So he says, in one of your recent selfies, you looked a lot like your father. Yeah, I guess that's good. I mean, he is my father after all. Which selfie you're referring to? Maybe I could pull it up for you. Are you talking about the one where, are you talking about this one here? I'm assuming this is the one you're referring to. The one where I'm showing off my art class buddy got me with the coffee mug. Is this the one you're referring to, Erie? I think Robert Klosky is my father. Somebody says Erie said that is the picture. I think obviously I would get the delusions that rich, famous, and interesting people were my father at one time because I resembled, I don't know, Sid Barrett, Billy Joel, Owen Hart, whoever it may be. But there's no evidence any of these people are my biological father. I'm just coming to feelings of conviction. Robert Klosky is my father, and that's the reality. Nobody has given me any evidence otherwise, and just because you look like somebody doesn't mean they're your father. Robert Klosky has always been my real father. There's no secret father. It was all delusions. Somebody says, no, Erie says, no, you 100% look like your father, Robert Klosky. You without a doubt look like your father. TB says, like Darth Vader. I am your father. Erie says, you do not look like the warden. You look like your dad. Horn Dog says, also, Rex, some people think Rex Humerman was aware of your social media content, and that's the reason the Long Island serial killer got arrested. Yeah, prior to him getting arrested, I was making social media content joking how I'm going to go to Gilgo Beach and I'm at midnight on a weeknight, and I'm going to take down the Long Island serial killer when he tries to kill me. And, I'm in Massapequa, and the Long Island serial killer was in Massapequa Park. It's very possible he discovered me on Google. I mean, it's a theory. I mean, I don't think the FBI or whoever arrested him would tell me if I was responsible for taking him down. But I certainly suspect it could be possible. It's like, who is this crazy, schizoaffective man-child making videos about me one town over? And maybe he was stalking me and I didn't even realize it, you know? Maybe I took down Lisk. Maybe I took down Lisk. TB says, we need a schizoaffective superhero. It's time. I don't know. Nobody's ever confirmed or corroborated it. It's a theory. It's a suspicion. But I was certainly making videos about the serial killer before he got arrested, and I only lived one town over from him. He was within walking distance of my house. So that's something. Pika Pika! Pika effective. Somebody says, a lot of celebrities probably knew of you, but then the switch happened 25 years ago. They switched. They switched you for your stepfather's daughter. That's certainly a theory, too. That's certainly a theory, too. The switch. We switched you for him, for her. The switch. Rick asks, what happened on the cruise ship? To be honest with you, I don't really have a memory too deeply of what actually happened. It is 20 to 25 years ago. I don't want to talk about it. You know, I just don't want to talk about it. I mean, we've exhausted this topic. You know, Rossi says, Andrew, as your psychiatrist, dentist, and lawyer, I advise you to tell us what happened on the cruise ship 20 to 25 years ago. I mean, I don't really have a memory of it. Somebody says, your stepsister is really Grimes, Elon Musk's wife. Yeah, that was certainly a theory I had too, but some people said, no, that's delusional as well. I mean, like, let's say hypothetically speaking, I discovered that was true. That would be devastating for me to find out she was living a billionaire's existence, married to the richest man in the world. But I think everything is as it appears to be. Everything is face value. It's kind of like the Margot Robbie. If she was also Margot Robbie, you know, living a Hollywood existence, a millionaire with tons of money, that would be devastating too. But yeah, there's no evidence this is true, you know. Somebody says, your stepsister is not just famous. She dated a billionaire, the richest man in the world. Somebody says, Margot Robbie's a name we haven't heard in a while. That's true. That's true. Somebody says you showed us a pic. That's not Grimes. That's not Margot Robbie. Everything is face value. Everything is as it appears to be. There are no hidden realities. There are no secrets. There was no switch. I mean, it's delusions. A horn dog asks, would you be mad if they admitted the HIV accident was a receipt? I would be really crushed, and I would, you know, obviously feel betrayed by my parents, and I might end a relationship. I might end a relationship with them for good if they told me they did that to me. If they told me they premeditatedly pharmacologically abused me, I think I would completely end the relationship. So, but apparently they say that's not true. Yeah, I would go no contact. I would end the relationship. But apparently they say it's not true. All I want is a confirmation of my delusional suspicions that I was betrayed. Everything is as it appears to be. Somebody says, better to move out now and go no contact. Oh, so yeah, I don't know. Rick says, but you can't move out. You're dependent on your parents financially, so you're kind of stuck. So even if they did sadistically, pharmacologically abuse you and betray you, well, what are you going to do about it? I guess I could try to find some independent living place to get me an apartment away from here. Let's. I mean, yeah. Somebody says you're stuck here forever. A man child posting on social media. You're stuck in Groundhog Day with Bill Murray, the same day over and over again. Except for me, it's Waiting for Godot. Something riches and fame and a girlfriend that's never going to come. For Bill Murray finds true love and gets out of Groundhog Day. Me, I'm just waiting for Godot, something that's never going to arrive to the end of time. Meva says you need an independent living facility desperately. Yeah, no, somebody says obviously, the loss of a loved one is devastating. But if you're dependent on the loved one and you lose the loved one, it's going to be doubly devastating because you're not going to know how to function as an independent adult. So it might be good if I learn how to get independent or independent to the best of my ability now while I still have my parents, because losing somebody you love is devastating enough. Now imagine you're dependent on somebody and you lose them and you don't know how to be an independent adult. Well, that's going to be a real crisis. So it's best to prepare because they're going to be in their 70s and my father literally has prostate cancer. Somebody says the group home will be full of low functioning people though, and it would really frustrate you. Somebody says a group home is like a psychiatric hospital that you can't leave. Yeah, I don't know. The answer is obviously to get a job, to get independent, and lose my dreaded man-child self-descriptor. The answer is to function as an independent adult and take care of myself. Unfortunately, I've proven I can't function as an independent adult and take care of myself. So, what do you do? Somebody says you got to do things for yourself. A group home could make you socialize and get a job. Ultimately, you got to learn how to function as in life, nobody's going to live your life for you. Or I guess people could try to, but you're not going to get what you're going to you're going to get a life full of what other people want for you. You got to live your own life and be independent. Erie says, I hope it doesn't come to a group home for you. I hope it doesn't come to a group home for you. All right, guys. I guess I'm going to get going here. Do you have any more questions for me or not really? Torndog says, this is enough. All right. Adios, my amigos and amigas. Peace out. Nice chatting with you. I'll talk to you all again soon. Horndog says, it's time to get into your underpants and lie down. Adios, amigos and amigas.